In the sprawling halls of the Intergalactic Academy, where young minds from hundreds of species gathered to learn the ways of the cosmos, a single classroom was drawing more attention than ever before. The subject was xenobiology and survival techniques, and the instructor had brought a most unusual guest, a human cadet from Earth, one of the infamous Deathworlders. Deathworlders, as the galaxy called humans, came from a planet so brutal and unforgiving that survival was a daily battle against nature itself. Their reputation for toughness, endurance, and sheer stubbornness was well known. But what the alien students had yet to truly comprehend was just how far those traits extended. The classroom was filled with curious faces, many with multiple eyes, some with scales shimmering under the artificial lights, others with feathery appendages twitching in anticipation. The alien students whispered among themselves, eager to witness the much-discussed human resilience firsthand. Their instructor, Professor Glinthar, a stout figure from the Draconi species, raised his voice to quiet the crowd. "Today you will witness a practical demonstration of Deathworlder healing," he announced. "Prepare yourselves. This will challenge many of your preconceived notions." In the center of the room stood Jace, the human cadet, his frame lean but visibly strong. His skin was lightly scarred, evidence of countless trials faced before his arrival at the academy. He nodded politely to the audience, knowing what was coming next. Professor Glinthar presented a set of devices that looked like small energy weapons, used for controlled training scenarios. These were designed to simulate severe injuries without causing permanent damage. One by one, the devices fired simulated blasts at Jace's arm, chest, and legs, wounds that, on many worlds, would cause grave harm or even death. The first blast hit Jace's forearm, a searing pain flashing across his face. The alien students gasped, some recoiling instinctively. The wound appeared deep, a glowing burn that seemed to melt the flesh. But then, something astonishing happened. Jace's hand twitched, and within seconds, the burn began to close. Flesh knitted back together, the glowing edges fading. A red scar remained, but the skin was whole again. "That was supposed to kill you," whispered one student, a young Valorian with translucent skin. Jace smiled faintly. "It's what we do back home. We heal fast because we have to." Professor Glinthar nodded approvingly. "Watch carefully." The next blasts hit harder, simulated, shrapnel tearing through Jace's thigh and energy slashes marking his side. Each time the injuries sealed, wounds closing with unnatural speed. Alien students exchanged incredulous looks. A few scribbled notes furiously, trying to record what their senses refused to accept. One of the students, named Lara from the aquatic Quasari species, raised a hand. "How can this be? Your body repairs itself faster than any known regenerative species we have studied." Jace shrugged. "Our planet is called a death world for a reason. Life there fights to survive every day. Our bodies evolved to handle damage, infection, and trauma like second nature." Professor Glinthar explained. "Human cells operate at an accelerated rate. Their immune response is incredibly efficient, and their tissues have a remarkable ability to regrow. Combined with their mental fortitude, this makes Deathworlders uniquely resilient." Jace added, "It's not just biology, it's mindset. We don't give up. Pain is a signal, but it's not the end." To demonstrate, Jace allowed the professor to apply a harsher test. A device designed to simulate extreme toxin exposure was activated. As the chemical simulation spread across his skin, Jace clenched his jaw, breathing steadily. Within minutes, the toxins were neutralized, replaced by healthy tissue. "Unbelievable," murmured several students in unison. More startling than the healing, though, was Jace's ability to remain composed throughout the process. He did not flinch, did not panic. This calm acceptance of pain and injury was alien to many species whose physiology was more delicate. The final test was the most dramatic. The instructor activated a synthetic blade, mimicking a slicing strike across Jace's chest. The cut was deep and blood seeped almost immediately. The room grew quiet as everyone waited. Jace staggered slightly but steadied himself. In moments, the wound began to close from the edges inward, muscles reconnecting, skin sealing like a biological zipper. The yellow scar, fresh and red, would fade with time. One of the larger students, a hulking Nargath with 4 arms, looked down at Jace in disbelief. That wound would kill any Nargath twice over, he said gruffly. How do you bear such pain and keep fighting? Jace met his gaze evenly. We don't have a choice. Our world demands we do. That evening, after the demonstration, the students gathered in small groups discussing what they had witnessed. Lara spoke to her friend Kilo, a slender Hraken from a desert world. I thought humans were fragile like us, but this is something else. Kilo nodded. They survive where others die. Their bodies are weapons in themselves. The story of Jace's healing spread across the academy like wildfire. His peers began to ask questions about Earth, the Death World, and how humans managed to thrive. One senior cadet approached Jace with curiosity. How do you stay so strong, not just in body but in mind? I have seen you face challenges that would break others. Jace paused, thinking. It's about knowing your limits and pushing beyond. On Earth, every day can be a fight for survival. You learn early to be tough, not just physically but mentally. Smiled wryly. Pain, fear, failure, they are teachers, not enemies. The humans at the academy were few, but their reputation grew. Their healing abilities were more than biology. They were symbols of the harsh world they came from, a world that forged resilience out of relentless adversity. Months later, during a simulated combat exercise, one of Jace's alien classmates, Varn, found himself injured and struggling. He looked to Jace for help. With calm efficiency, Jace administered emergency aid using human medical protocols unfamiliar to many species. He stabilized Varn's condition swiftly, demonstrating not just healing but compassion and practical knowledge. The alien students realized that Deathworlder's resilience was a blend of physical toughness, rapid healing, mental strength, and a deep sense of responsibility. It was a combination rare and powerful. At the graduation ceremony, Professor Glinthar addressed the assembled students. You have witnessed today what it means to be a Deathworlder. The galaxy may not always understand them, but their survival skills and spirit will be essential to our shared future. Jace stood tall among his peers, proud not only of his own journey, but of the new respect humans had earned. In the annals of the academy, the lesson was clear. When an alien student exclaims, "That was supposed to kill you," in amazement at a human's healing, it is a reminder that in the vast galaxy, survival takes many forms. Some are born from technology, some from evolution, but few match the raw, relentless spirit of a Deathworlder.